can't even have it. Oh, that'd be the worst thing, man. Having not having your mic on, be just talking and blabbering. Do it all the time. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Yeah, all the time. Ah, there we go. Whew, boy. Sunday. Sundays. Days in the sun. Excuse me. Man, it was a great day today, y'all. Great day. You know. Today I had woke up. That's a blessing right there. Let me go ahead and tell you about it. Waking up, getting another breath, being able to consciously breathe. It's amazing. But I went to the store, went to Sprouts, got some juices. Was thinking about going on like a liquid fast juice and water. Cleanse the body a little bit. See how it goes. Feel like it'd be pretty, pretty good thing to do for my body, for my mental, and for the spirit. But also, after that, had read a little bit of this Jewish study, this Jewish Bible study guide. Got into it a little bit, really just breaking down some things, understanding some things, and putting pieces together, actually adding them together with the book of Comedicism, the Tree of Life of ancient Egyptian Comedicism, putting those together, being able to read from different spiritual texts and being able to put them together. Right? I'm not religious. I'm not a part of any spiritual community. I like I said, I've read the make sure I'm not pronouncing this correctly. The Kabbalah or something like that, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's Jewish mysticism. Um, I have I just bought yesterday. I bought the Jewish Bible study guide. I looked into Hinduism. I was raised a Baptist Christian, and also I have the the Tree of Life of ancient Egyptian Comedicism, and really is adding all those texts together because I'm here to create my own quote unquote religion out of love, right? That's what I'm here for. So I was just blabbering to you guys about what I've been doing, what I did this rising. After I did that, studied that, I went to the library to charge some things up. Like I say, if you haven't seen my post about before getting on here, I am a nomad living in my car. Everything I need is right here. Everything I have is right here. Still looking to get rid of some things. I'm a minimalist. I don't like to have too many things. Too many things makes my mind wander a little bit and over coagulates my mind. I like to not put too much stress on myself. If I can be able to take off some of the stress, it'll be good. Um, and anxiety and stuff like that. I'm able to think more clear when I don't have as much stuff because a lot of stuff that we have, if you look at like marketing and advertising, is pushed onto us to keep buying things, buying things, buying things. Why are we constantly buying things in this system? We don't need some of this stuff. It's just to keep the system going if we keep on buying things, right? Because a lot of this stuff is designed to break so you can buy some more. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense. But that's besides the point. Went to the library, charged my things, and after I did that, I went out to the park, went to go ground, y'all, man. Had to go ground, get back with nature, get some more sunlight, because I forgot I worked out this morning too. I worked out. That's what I forgot to tell you. I worked out this rising and got it in. You know what I'm saying? But today we're gonna be talking about nomadic living, just a day in my life, some things that I adapt to while living on the road. Gonna talk about abuse awareness in regards to physical and mental abuse. Me personally, I've gone through numerous of occasions of narcissistic abuse without realizing that and I'm gonna touch on that in a little bit. And lastly is community. Community. I guess you could say community bonding, right? Some things that I have in mind in regards of community, what we can be able to do to help grow the community, how we can be able to um, get involved more within our community. Really, it's to be involved with the community outside of the social platform. That's one thing I really want to do is to be able to grow a community on social media and have us all meet up and have a community, right? Because I'm actually searching for my soul family right now, which I believe they're all around me, and that's one thing that I'm putting out into the universe. They're around me, they found me, and finding me, I'm finding them right now, right? So yeah, there's that. So let's get into. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with what's going on, Robbie? Start off with your question with the living as a nomad. Do I prefer living in a house? Me personally, my soul loves to travel. When I tried that trial last year of nomadic living, I was just doing like a documentary. If you haven't seen my documentary series, I stopped it because I actually ended up writing a story about my experience of nomadic living because my initial um, intent was to document Black history or Black Native stories, right? Our elder stories and present that on YouTube so the young can learn from it. But we all are connected, Black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever, yellow, don't matter what color. I don't believe in like the color system because like look at me, I'm brown, I'm not black. You know what I'm saying? We all are melanated beings, we're just darker than the other, right? So I switched up my narrative with that. But on that trial period last year, nomadic living, like I said, my soul yearns to travel. I love to travel because I've been in constant go mode for like the last ever since I graduated college in 2019 actually, because I used to cope by making myself busy, right? Whether it be at work, the gym, doing something, just staying busy. And I ain't really never had a vacation until 5 years later. I'm like, wow, this I can breathe. You know what I'm saying? But I like living as a nomad. Me personally, there's things that I have aspirations of doing. I have my car, but I really want to get a van and being able to travel. And I can kind of branch off into narcissistic with that question that you asked me, Robbie, and also community. I want to be able to grow a community of nomads, and really not even just nomads, people that want to heal, that want to transcend the 3D, that go into the 5D of just living a better life and evolving as a person, as a human being, right? So we all can create a better life for ourselves, right? And live in, because we can find peace, joy within the chaos, because chaos, all this stuff is going, and obstacles are going to happen in life. It's really all about how you react to it, right? There's so much stuff that's happened in my life within the past 3 years that I can't, people wouldn't even imagine happen unless people, view whatever the case might be. I don't care, but I'm like, dang, I got through all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here, but I just look at us living in a. It actually talks about in scripture. I forget the guy's name. I think it's Jabal. When you start getting to Genesis of where Jabal begat this, they begat this and had kids. Jabal was actually the first nomad in scripture of the Elohim to not only be a nomad but to be a he traded cattle or livestock, right? But I want to be able to grow a community and have like a hub. I would love to have a hub, like a headquarters of just buy some land We don't need. We can build like a community center. Um, I really want to grow. I really want to base all my stuff off of gardens. I like to. I like farming. I like getting back to the roots, the grounds, nature, because we can be able to live off our own produce and be able to help others heal while being able to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, while eating, the Most High's food. You know, and that is that's one thing. Another thing that led me into, like I say, this is a dynamic answer for your question, Robbie. Led me into this nomadic living was when I chose myself, because I realized that as I've been being more aware to narcissistic abuse, my family are narcissists, and I was being abused and manipulated very subtly. And when I started speaking up on certain things, trying to, like, quote unquote, fix people, I can't fix people. I don't heal people. I heal myself, and the things that I do can potentially heal others, right? Like, people can, like, they can choose. Oh, he did that. Let me try it. But, like, people still have to find their own way. That's the thing. I was trying to force certain things with my parents, aunts, but everybody. And some things I wasn't really trying to force it. I was being attacked by the spirit that was in them, and I was like, you know what? It ain't really worth being attacked. If you look at, like I say, scripture, um, like I say, basic instruction before leaving earth, even Yahuwah, Yahweh, he left his hometown because, you know, sometimes people have to leave to feel your absence because your presence was not respected and my presence wasn't being respected. And I chose myself because I want to be in environments that, that appreciates me the way I want to be appreciated. It helps me grow, really. It's all about evolving. That's really what I want to do, is evolve. Help me evolve as a person, a human being, right? And but yeah, that's one thing with the narcissistic abuse. I left mainly because of that dynamic. And my brother too. Nobody People don't even know I have a brother, a transgender brother actually. Um, he was born uh, girl, and he what's the word I'm looking for? He I keep wanting to say transcend. Either way, he made his trial transition. That's the word. He transitioned in, I think it was like 2020, but he had surgery last year. That's why I actually went on the trip. I was like, let's do it right now. So I got to California to see him. I stayed there for a month just to, be there with him and all that though. But yeah, most people don't know I have a brother that actually left home exactly how I did back in 2014, because he saw things that I didn't see, because the Most High was blinding me, because he wanted me to be pure in that time, because I was still doing certain things to help myself grow during those times, and just be the light and be blinded, um, be blissful, because I was ignorant to a lot of things, and I'm thankful for that, right? Because it would have seen me off a whole different trajectory in life if I would have saw the things that I saw, which I wouldn't be the person I am today if that would happen, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, most people don't know that my brother did the same thing. So, but yeah, there's that though. But in regards to nomadic living, though, I love it because it allows me to be more creative. It allows me to be to adapt to a lot of things that might pop up that I can't really, predict. Um, travel knows. Right? Yeah, I was, for the longest time, like when I was a kid, Robbie, I was like, why do we call each other black if I'm brown? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, even off of the Proud Family, the La Cienega sisters, they so black they blue, but they ain't. You know what I'm saying? They ain't black. You know what I'm saying? But, but anyways, though, but yeah, that and another thing with color is why people call orange hair red. Like, yeah, she got red hair, but I'm like, it's orange. I'm like, but when somebody dye their hair red, I'm like, that's red. But that's just, I don't know. That's just me being like literal. Or I don't know. It's a lot of things. It's very very mixed up in this world we live in. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely recommend anyone like try it for like a weekend, try it for a week. You know what I'm saying? You don't have because I just went off and I'm the my personality type. I dive off in the deep end and I just do it. Like I figure it out along the way. That's just always been my personality. Um, that is it the most wisest thing? Who knows? Maybe not. That's just the way I like to learn. I like to learn. I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn hands on. People can tell me to do all types of things in the world, how to do it, what to do. Until I do it, I won't know. So I definitely recommend people trying it out to see how it is to experience it. Not saying people should go all in and do it. That's people can do their own thing, but just try it. I just think about the idea of like living in a box with homes. We're boxed in all the time, and like back if we go to our ancestors and look at our ancestors used to travel all the time. They used to travel. They used to have, like I was talking about earlier, like a little, maybe like a homestead, like a headquarters, a space. Build a little center, build some maybe like a big house, homes. Have the women in there teaching the kids, you know, garden area, and being able to have people come in. Like one of my biggest things, I love. I like I've my heart is broken for the homeless. I want to be able to help them out, and whether it be healing, finding a place to stay, and really just helping them all together. That's one of my goals in life that I will accomplish with that project. But really, just like having our ancestors, they used to do that though. They used to have like we used to travel. You know what I'm saying? We are travelers. We weren't meant to just be in a box. That's why the industry is the way it is. The system is the way it is because we're in the city. We were actually outside of the city. We were outside of the city because if you're in the city, now you have to depend on that city to help feed you, right? That's why we got supermarkets, grocery stores, right? Instead of growing our own produce out in and can't think of the word though, but out in the country, whatever you might say, like out on your farms, right? It's taking us away from the land being in these cities, right? We can be able to actually have a balance of it though. It's just me personally, I just choose not to involve myself in it. That's there. And like I said, there's a balance within that. Some might present itself along the way where I might can be able to jump in and jump out, but just where my heart and soul is feeling. Like if I were to work, because like when I was working, um, and then I just had like a heightened consciousness. My soul was being sucked out of these jobs from the work, the individuals, seeing the lies, seeing the way the system is set up within those systems. I'm like, no, this ain't right. This is not right. So I just I couldn't get with it. You know what I'm saying? Like my soul was not like I don't want to be fake. I can't be fake. I'm like, so why would I have to fake myself? People say fake it till you make it. Why do I have to fake it till I make it? I don't get that analogy, you know. Um so there's that though. And you say I've been through a really tough time during my healing journey, so I'm more careful now. What do you mean by being more careful now? In what regards? But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone trying the nomadic lifestyle for, like I say, try it for a weekend, a week. You don't have to jump into it like I did. I went 5, 6 months in there, then I came back home. Then I started seeing everybody's mask fall. I'm like, yeah, I just gotta go. And so it's best for me. I saw certain things that didn't add up, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's cool. But yeah, I feel like healing journey has made, yeah, yeah, I definitely understand that. That's one more thing. That's another thing too with me. I can relate to that. Um, I've I've been obedient in ways, and I've been naive in some ways, and I want to do certain things my own way. Like um, especially now, more than ever, really just trusting things that I can't see or understand. Like when I'm gonna go ahead and roll into like I guess like narcissistic abuse. Like when I was in Nashville, my roommate at the time was like my master narcissist, which got me on my journey, which I didn't even think I was gonna make it out alive, honestly. And it, it took a toll out on me, like mentally. Nervous system was broken down. They broke my mental from my reality from what I believed God was and who He was, or He, she, it is, and I didn't know what to believe because they were trying to get me to break my belief system down so I could depend on them and start worshiping them unconsciously. And that's one of the toughest. That was one of the toughest things ever, really, and still going through it too. Like certain things in my reality, like might try to pop up in this construct to try to get me off my tracks. The other day I had bought this. I think it was last week. I had bought this shadow workbook. Just helping myself be honest with myself. Right. Really just journaling, and I realized as I'm journaling, because I've been on my journey for about consciously for 3 years now, and I was like, man, wow, I've grown so much, and I'm still growing. There's still things that I'm uncovering about myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. Because some of the things that it talks about, like, what am I shameful of? We talked about on your live a few weeks ago about like being a vegetarian and just eating better. And one thing that I am, because I'm an emotional eater sometimes. When things get tough, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? It's comforting. You know what I mean? I don't even care no more. Let me just eat in this construct, this little maze that these flying monkeys got me in. Let me just eat because it don't even matter. It's not even real. And but I'm like, you know what? If I practice the way I do, I'll play the way I practice. So, and I was walking to Sprouts to use the bathroom earlier. I was like, you know what? Even if this is real or not, you practice how you play. So I'm like, I might as well just practice the way I would play because I wanna be better, right? I wanna be a better version of myself. That's why I left, so I could find other people like me that's actually wanting to do that, and understand that this is not forever. This is just a season. I'm not sure what is next. All I know is I'm just taking it day by day because, like I said, as a been a vegetarian actually for a year now. Like if I might eat sometimes a lot, but I understand that I don't eat meat, so meat is a lot heavier than fruits, veggies, and nuts. So like sometimes when I'm eating a lot, I feel like it's too much, but it's really not too much. Sometimes I'm not eating enough because I'm so like I'm my own worst critic when it comes to that, and sometimes I do get a little shameful, and then sometimes when I do want to give up on myself, I'm like, let me just eat more when I'm not hungry, and I know I'm not hungry, right? So now I'm just being ignorant to that point, right? Just make sure my mic's still on. Now I'm just being ignorant to the knowledge that I have, but not applying it because I have a lot of knowledge of learning and a lot of stuff that I don't know. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm learning things as I go. That's life. That's journey. But it's just understanding that I'll make a mistake. Cool. Got tomorrow. You know. But yeah, emotional eating. That's one of my things. One of my trauma responses, as you know, not being emotionally provided for in my childhood because Also, my brother, he has cerebral palsy, right? So he has a disability, right? And so, but as a kid, I really didn't ask for much. I never, quote unquote, need. I've always been low maintenance. I never really needed certain things. I really didn't care to want material things. That was just me naturally. I never really wanted a lot of stuff, right? I had a lot of stuff, but I never really wanted a lot of stuff, you know. So that definitely help molded me the way I am right now because naturally I can be quiet. Naturally I can be more reserved, but a lot of this stuff has helped me kind of get more get myself out there more, you know what I'm saying? And just be more open with others and myself and not be so, closed off because I mean that's what I was raised. Everybody was just doing their own thing, and there's nothing wrong with that though. But sometimes, as humans, we do need interaction. So in my day today, I make sure I at least speak to the people I talk to whenever I'm going out in public. Hey, it's a nice shirt you got, man. Whatever. Some small act of kindness. Your deep tissues. Yeah, that's one thing I'm actually. That's good too. By the way, that's one thing I'm doing right now. So I really just like I said, I'm going on um a liquid diet right now. So I'm just doing nothing but liquids, whether it be juicing or just straight water. Really just understanding too, because the body is a very unique thing. The body is a very unique thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's amazing too, just learning more about the body each and every day. So, right, yeah, yeah. And I just learned more about frugivore. Being a frugivore is eating just like mainly fruits and small percentage of plants and um, nuts and seeds when need be. Whenever the body is feeling it needs to eat those things. But yeah, no, I appreciate that though too. Yeah, because like sometimes I'm like, dang, I'm eating this much, I'm still hungry, or I can't feel if I'm full or not, so I'm eating because I don't know if I am or not. It's interesting. It's interesting. And yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm trying to give myself more grace with that though. It's one thing I wrote about today. Actually, give myself more grace about understanding like it's a different lifestyle. Being a vegetarian, I have to eat more. Nothing wrong with eating more fruit or vegetables. Understanding what kind of balance I need out of the two. Being able to have a well balanced, meal or diet within that. Yeah, yep. And that's what I'm gonna start doing too. And not only that, but implementing because I was doing really good at one point while I was fasting. Like I would at one point I would especially on the road until like I got to one part of the area, then I just like, you know what, forget it, eating donuts, you know what I'm saying? And that's my snake mind, right? That's my snake mind that rolled in there from my narcissist I remember. But I was really good at just fasting but I absorb energy very easily. Like I absorb other people's energy and I could feel it too. You know what I mean? I could feel whenever I'm absorbing somebody else's energy if they're in my proximity trying to get into my org field, and really is having not only the discipline but the knowing of where it comes from too and being able to add them up together and using that for what it is. And but yeah, no, it's like I say, it's been a journey. It's been fun too. Actually, I love being a vegetarian though. Frugivore, vegetarian, either or. It's I feel way more better, feel cleaner. Cause I was subconsciously taking things out of my diet before all this stuff happened. Cause like I'm like, why am I doing this if it's making me feel bad? So I would stop eating out at this one particular place, and I would see how I feel after I eat this one place. Really listen to my body more, and really just understand that what it is time for me to actually think about what I'm eating, be more conscious eating, and then like it. So really just trying to study from other people, learn from other people, and implement what works best for me, and give myself grace that these individuals probably studied this way longer than I have, and I'm just now getting started, and that's okay, you know, because I have a tendency of wanting to go past perfect sometimes. I've gotten a lot better at that, but just allow myself to take those baby steps because those baby steps turn into marathons, right? But yeah, sensitive energy is a real deal. It's a real thing. Like once I started raising my vibration, eating better food, um, I started being more conscious of my surroundings, people I hang out with, started asking deeper questions. You know, been sober for 2 years now. Like I one small act 3 years ago when I was with some friends. I was like, you know what? Let me ask them if they want to do something different than going out to drink at these clubs or bar, whatever. I'm like, y'all want to go hiking? And it lasted for a week, and after that, everybody just trying to fill out. Oh, okay, so we only talking because we drinking. We only hanging out because we drinking. That's fine with me. I'll eventually find people that like to hike. So really, just being okay with doing my own thing, and people with like minds will eventually be magnetized to what I like. You know, and that's not being selfish. That's just taking care of me and my own energy. And I thank you, by the way. Yeah, it's been eye opening. It's been eye opening, allowing me to see all of the distractions. Not all of them. Some of them, the ones that I need to be aware of at that moment. But I do want to touch on community with that though, like I was talking about earlier, because I realized too. I actually saw you posted too today about a little event out in New York of community, like a little workshop y'all gonna have. I'm not sure what day it is. I think, oh yeah, it's on the 25th of April. Which I think is dope though, because like I think it's time for us all to be more mindful and conscious of the way we present ourselves, not just present ourselves on social media, but the way we spend our time on social media. Because if we go back to what we our roots, we all will be able to get stronger in numbers, be more conscious, live better, feel better, and do better by having more community outreaches, in-person interactions, opposed of just living behind the screen. Because COVID messed up a lot of things too, but being able for us all to, like I said, have communion with each other and help us grow. Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope. Yeah, if I can slide up there. I ain't been to New York before. Um, but yeah, we all can be able to find that community outreach and be able to be involved in our community and love thy neighbor and without judgment, because everybody is on their own path. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't judge. Like I tell people when I was hanging out with them, I'm like, hey yo, if you drink, drink. If you smoke, smoke. I did both of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't do them anymore, but I'm not gonna tell you not to do something. I'm just telling you what worked for me. You know, I'm just gonna tell you what worked for me. I don't do it because I'm a better person without it. If you are a good person with it, glory to you. because I'm not the one to judge. Who am I to judge when I did the same thing? Everybody has their season, their time. It's just all about what one wants to do. We all here on earth living our life the way we want to. It's just up to us to, first of all, some people try to manipulate us to live a certain way that they want us to. Understand that we have our own mind, and once we set our energy on what we want to do down that path, everything else will flow to it. Of course, it's gonna be hiccups, trials, tribulations. Just keep stepping. It's the main thing. Keep on stepping. It's like finding Nemo. Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming. Yeah, no, it's I love the nomadic living. I have some really big goals, aspirations that I want to accomplish. That this can lead me to, because also this helps me be in my own energy. Helps me heal myself a little bit more. Helps me observe things a little bit more, and really just stay grounded too. Staying grounded. That's the main thing. Not getting too high, not getting too low. Cause let me tell you, one time I was too high. I'm like, man, I don't even want to come down. Crazy down here, but I'm like, I'm human. You know, let me experience life. Let me experience life. Do I ever feel lonely? I mean, it's been about 2 years of me not having a person. Um, from the aspect, and even when I was around people, I felt I felt lonely around certain people because of the dynamic, I guess, like family wise. Just we weren't really on the same wavelength. One thing that helps me get past, I don't feel lonely anymore. I used to. To answer the question straightforward, I used to, but I don't anymore. Um, Probably about last fall was when I kind of like got over it a little bit, because I love myself. I love my alone time. I love my peace. I understand that God is with me all the time, the Most High, the Creator. Um, but for sure, I do want um a community to be around. That's one thing. Like I was talking about, like I really want to have like community, just friends, have my own family, soul family, to create with, grow with. You know, that's definitely one of my goals that I do want to have. So, because like as human, we all want, you know, another human connection, person to connection, right? Because I mean, it's easy, especially in this world we live in, to be able to, be alone. And I could see, I was actually thinking about this other day. I could see why people, like, if people went through what I've gone through. I could see why people unalive themselves. I could see why people go insane. I could see why people are, you know, untrustworthy I could see the reason why. Like, I'm so understanding. Um, I'm so grateful that I went through what I went through to understand a lot of perspectives and dynamics that people have gone through, whether that be intentionally or unintentionally. Unintentionally means people have provoked a certain outcome in people's lives to see how they react. And a great book to read that actually talks about that. Octavia Butler, her first book in a 3-book series, Dawn. Dawn. Her book Dawn, by Octavia Butler, is a great book that actually talks about that. I think she wrote that back in the early '90s, maybe late '80s. I'm not sure. Um, but some people's experiences that they go through are provoked for tests, such as like I say, me going through organized crime, organized harassment, um, individuals trying to provoke a reaction out of me, coming up out of nowhere, parking beside me, then leaving immediately. That's not that's not normal. Plus, with the same license plate, Texas, Florida, Virginia, um, whatever. Like all these are people that was involved with the narcissist who I was around. It is what it is, right? Myself might be on the black web. You know, it, stuff like that. I can't control it. I can only control how I react to it. You know what I'm saying? And because I could cry all I want, it's not gonna change nothing. So I might as well just still live my life. You know. But I understand that some people, like I feel like a lot of the homeless too, have went through similar psyops where they've been broken and they just gave up. That's what I believe. Like I just have a feeling that that's what a lot of them have went through certain situations and they just gave up, which I understand. And in a world like this, sometimes you be like, why do I even like why try when you got dark individuals like this who live in their dark? Because hurt people, right? Right? People that go to therapy are the victims of the ones who were hurt. I make sure I said it correct. Are the victims of the one, yeah, who was or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But um, yeah, it is a like once I became aware of how real this world is, my childlike nature, my inner child within me still lives. I'm not gonna get rid of that. It's just being more aware of how people move within this reality. Because some people move weird. Some people move weird in this reality, and that's just the way they choose to move. So just let them move that way. Let them move that way. But it is what 7:43, 7:43, yeah. So it's about time for me to go ahead and wind down. I'm about to go ahead and get ready to wind down for for the night. Um, I always wind down with my reading, journaling, and really depends on what I'm doing. I might watch a movie, but really don't feel like it. But that's what I'm doing, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to this live. Look forward to seeing me again next Sunday. I really want to do a Sunday thing, just a chill conversation of things that might pop up in my head throughout the week. But hope you have a good rest of y'all's night. And y'all take care. Peace.